I want to go back a little bit in time because, you know, when you and Tommy were doing your thing, the first time that I had heard of you, you mentioned the magazines. And it's funny that you say that because, you know, I first saw WWF on TV and then started picking up some wrestling magazines, and I started hearing about a couple of different tag teams like you guys and, you know, the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express. And just, you know, watching, being curious to see, man, I can't wait to see these guys. And then you guys ended up on my TV because we picked up World Class. I'm from Pennsylvania, but we picked up World Class, and we picked up Mid-Atlantic and so on. So I got to see all you guys. And, you know, it was amazing to me with you guys and the Rock and Rolls were coming up at the same time. And it was, you know, when you guys would come to the ring, it was mayhem, I think is a fair word to say. And I'm just curious first, what was that like going through that time period with, because it's different, you know, it's different than it is today where they had the barriers and nobody was near you really. Yes. You know, back then you guys were getting attacked constantly by the girls. And as somebody who was 13, 14 years old, I'm like, I want to be like them. What? How did you guys have any peace? Did you get to, you know, how did you live back then without being bombarded 24/7?
We were bombarded 24/7. We would even to our homes. We would try to drive fast and get away, and I'd wake up in the morning, and I would have pizzas and jewelry and drinks and everything stacked up at my door, where people would just bring it. And you know, as you talked about the World Class was really one of the first worldwide wrestling television programs, because we were not only popular in Texas, as you talked about, Pennsylvania, but also Israel, Japan. It was a worldwide network of world-class wrestling. And, you know, as our friend sitting over there in the corner with his nose to the wall, I know he likes Stan Lane, but I got to wrestle both versions of the Midnight Express. Mm-hmm. And Dennis Condrey and Bobby Eaton was a tremendous tag team. What Dennis brought to the team, then later on when Stan came aboard, they brought in different elements to lift up the Midnight Express. And of course, you always had the mouthpiece Jimmy Cornette. And what great matches we had with them. We would wrestle them. I couldn't even begin to count how many times we wrestled the Midnight Express over the years. And it's the same with the Rock and Roll Express wrestling the Midnight Express. But, you know, that 80s era, we had the Road Warriors. We had the British Bulldogs. It was really a tag team era that's never been matched since. And I think that's one thing that the wrestling business needs now. And I don't know why they don't focus on tag teams any longer. It's an art, I know. But going out to the ring and getting your hair pulled out by all them girls and your clothes ripped off and stuff like that. Hey, man, that's what dreams are made of, right?
No doubt. Oh, no doubt about it.
I'll never forget one time. I opened up my hotel door, and I noticed all these girls was everywhere. And I was going, wow, and they were just all sitting there waiting on me to open up my door. Well, then I looked down, and I thought, who's that man talking to them girls that's waiting on me? And it was John Kay from Steppenwolf, the one that sang Born to Be Wild.
Wow.
My goodness. Wow. Here he is at my hotel room door talking to girls waiting on me. And I just thought, that was a epiphany, if you will, of saying, my goodness, this is a very magical time.
Oh.
And, you know, we used to run around with Dusty Hill of ZZ Top, the bassist that passed away. Tommy and he would pick us up, and we'd go to his house and party. It was just a lifestyle that when I got in the wrestling business, I say this, Mark, I never got in it for the fame. I never got in it for the fame. I never got in it for the notoriety. I got in it for the love of it. And that's why I'm still involved with it today, the love of it. It's like a lot of people talk about the surface. Once it's in your blood, it's in your blood. And that's true for not only the participators in the ring, but for fans like you and everybody else.